At a quick glance, the bike is equipped with a state-of-the-art TFT display, multiple customizable riding modes, and a comprehensive electronics package including cornering ABS, traction control, and cruise control. It also features some extra cool gizmos such as launch control, anti-wheelie technology, and engine braking adjustability. We've also got the best brakes I've ever used on a bike so far. Brembo calipers with plenty of feel and a semi-linked braking system where pulling the front brake applies a little rear brake. It's fantastic and very necessary for such a fast and big bike. Most notably, and my favorite thing they've added to the bike, is the quick shifter. Holy moly, is it smooth. Being able to keep the throttle open whilst gliding up the gears is such a quality of life improvement. I now want that quick shifter on every single bike I ride. In one word, the new Suzuki Hayabusa is refined. However, don't think it's been made into a gentleman of a bike. Suzuki have just shaved off the rough edges from the last ones. It's still a wild animal. It still makes 187 horsepower and 150 newton meters of torque, and it makes that torque at 7,000 RPM, so it's actually usable at non-missile speeds. It's a monster. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in just 2.6 seconds if you have the balls to pin it that hard. And it boasts a top speed of over 186 miles per hour. It is an absolute weapon. The handling is also sharp and precise to go with the power, providing excellent stability at high speeds and when cornering. Despite this power delivery, it will still achieve about 40 miles per gallon combined mileage. The fuel tank holds 20 litres, a little more than 4 imperial gallons, so that's approximately 170 to 190 miles of range. Of course, that's going to depend on how you ride. For me, it's probably more like 30 miles per gallon, let's be real. But even then, that's actually pretty respectable for a hyper sport bike, and it still beats a nice car. If you want to know more about the specifications of the bike, I've put a link in the description down below, so read through it in your own time. So let's talk about the design. The Gen 3 Hayabusa comes in 3 main colors as shown in this image. The trim also comes in a bunch of different colors too, so you can mix and match which designs you like the most. My favorite among the standard colors has to be the black with gold trim, but the anniversary edition orange with black has to take the cake for me. It's magnificent. Just looking at pictures online, I thought I would want the black and the gold, but in real life the orange stands out more for me, especially when the light hits it just right. It does sparkle so much. Like, you have to see them in real life, guys. It's beautiful. Either way, it's an absolute head turner of a bike, regardless of which color you pick. As you may have noticed, it's still visibly a Hayabusa. Of course, the Hayabusa has a unique side and front profile due to being designed for optimal aerodynamics, so we haven't strayed too far from the original theme of the model, but I am seeing some more modern day design choices in the bike's curves this time around. It's a welcome improvement that really brings the bike into the modern day. We do, however, have some really chunky exhausts on the bike, really chunky, heavy and restrictive exhausts, and that is purely because of the horrible Euro 5 regulations. However, fortunately, there's a lot of aftermarket parts, so if you're the kind of guy to buy a new Hayabusa, you can probably get a nice Yoshimura exhaust to stick on there as well, with the added benefit of shaving some weight, extra power, and so on. Finally, saving the best for last, the TFT display as well as analog dials is absolutely beautiful. I don't understand why other bike manufacturers haven't done this as well. Whoever designed this did an amazing job. This really is the best of both worlds, old and new, and makes it feel like you're in some kind of jet plane about to take off. As expected of Suzuki's most legendary bike, it really feels like no expense has been spared on crafting this bike. Sitting on it, you get an air of absolute quality. The fitment of the panels is nice and tight, and there doesn't seem to be any design flaws which will cause cracks later on. Sitting on the bike then, you realize how big it is, and how much room you actually have. It's very comfortable, even for larger riders. I'm 6 foot tall, or 183 centimeters, and I can easily flat foot this bike with a comfy bend in my knees. Despite that, when picking my feet up, I'm not cramped at all. When cruising at normal road speeds, or getting tucked down for a straight, or when leaning off the bike a little bit in the corners, there are no issues whatsoever with the ergonomics. This can easily be used for normal street use, exploring side roads, and for blasting A roads, no problem. My favourite thing about the ergonomics is actually the fuel tank. It seems like it's the perfect width, just designed for me so I can grip it with my legs easily. And trust me, you're going to want to hold on if you pin that throttle. A little bit more about the performance then. As you saw at the beginning of the video, I stuck it straight into A mode. This is the full power mode. No messing around for me. If you're a beginner, there are other modes that you can pick as well, so you can get an easier introduction to the bike. But for me, I already had a Gen 1 Hayabusa, and I currently ride a ZX-10, so I'm used to big powerful bikes. So I stuck it straight into fast mode. When accelerating, I really could only bring myself to use a fraction of the power. If you think about twisting the throttle, you'll find yourself at the speed limit instantly. You can feel the surge of power building beneath you as the inertia from accelerating gives you that funny feeling in your gut. And the power just keeps on building and building, like climbing a tidal wave. Then you look down and realize you're only halfway up the rev range. Welcome to riding a Hayabusa. So yes, as you would expect, it's immensely powerful, but also the power is usable. The Hayabusa is still the easiest bike I've ever ridden, and I really mean that. It will do whatever speed you tell it to, in any gear, easily, smoothly. The quick shifter is like butter and will get you up or down the gears without any interruption. You can literally hold the throttle wide open and just slam up the gears. Now that I've said that word, the whole power delivery of the bike can be summed up with that one word: smooth. And if you've seen other reviews of this Hayabusa, I'm sure they're going to say the same thing as well. It really is the smoothest bike I've ever ridden. You can probably balance a 1p coin vertically on it. Towards the end of my ride, I started to get comfortable on the bike and started to really feel how it tipped into corners. The way it tips into corners belies its weight really. It's still a sport bike after all. It's not a bike you'd buy specifically for excellent cornering, but, you know, when you want to, it's pretty good at it. So, is it practical? Well, yeah, kind of. It's a little heavy, but so are adventure bikes, which everyone lauds as being practical. And I'd wager the Hayabusa, being a low bike, handles its weight better than a big tall GS, for example, and they're about the same weight. The ergos are set up comfortably, so low speed maneuvers, riding in town, filtering, making hard turns, 90-degree turns, all of that shouldn't be a problem. What might be a problem is the length. It's quite long. so you might have some trouble getting it into tight spaces. No chance of getting it into my back garden, for example. So if you have somewhere to put it where you can cover it and keep it away from jealous eyes, then yeah, it's practical. Realistically speaking, this is going to mean having a garage, and I'm sure your insurance will have a fit if you don't have a private garage anyway. Let's talk money then. £18,000 is the price you're going to be paying if you want one brand new. Oof. Yeah, it's a lot of money to most of us, but it's also a lot of bike with the most modern tech, so I can see where the price comes from. In the dealership lineup, they were advertised for about £12,000 pre-owned with just a few thousand miles on them. So if I was going to buy one today, that's the first place I would look. This price seems to be about what I'm seeing elsewhere online as well. Comparing this to the new price of a Kawasaki ZZR 1400 and the H2SX, even the H2SX SE, it's actually very reasonable. Let's sum up with a pros and cons list. Pros: power, all of it, all of the time, unlimited power. It's very comfortable. The looks are fantastic. It's beautiful. If you liked the first couple of Hayabusas, you'll like this one. Modern tech for convenience and safety. And of course, the build quality is fantastic. Everything is amazing on it. Cons: I can't afford it. It's a bit heavy and a bit long. It's definitely a thief magnet. You're going to want a garage. And finally, I can't afford it. Conclusion: the Hayabusa really has been brought into the modern age with improvements to every aspect of the bike, from the brakes to the engine to the electronics and the visuals. Suzuki have done an absolutely fantastic job with their surge system, which has helped smooth the rough edges of the previous Hayabusas down, but also made improvements to the engine and the gearbox and the aerodynamics to make it as powerful as ever, with a vibration-free power delivery. Sorry, ladies. Euro 5 regulations have curbed the enthusiasm a smidge, but fortunately, there are multiple aftermarket companies ready to sort that out with a nice exhaust and either a power commander or ECU flash. The ergonomics are very comfortable and the bike is well suited for traveling long distances, but also for obliterating A-roads. Overall, the new Hayabusa is well suited for an experienced rider that enjoys a limitless well of power, smooth power delivery, supreme comfort, all the modern quality of life improvements available, and the status of owning a legendary bike that won't easily be beaten in quality for at least another 10 years. If this sounds like you, definitely consider having a look down Thunder Road Motorcycles in Bridgend, with whom I test rode the Hayabusa in this video. Let's put a little gander around the bike then, yeah? Okay boys, here comes the sad bit. I gotta take it back now. And the sun has come out. I know I gotta take it all the way back.
This is the color I want. Look at that. You can't tell in the camera, but it's just so sparkly. It's fantastic. The seat cover on the back is beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. Yeah. Gonna have to talk about this a lot. I know what bike I want now. I need a Gen 3 Hayabusa, boys. So much like smoother than the Gen 1, because obviously you guys know I had a Gen 1, right? So much better, trust.
And as always guys, if you liked the video, consider subscribing for more like this in the future. Click this next video on your screen to get some more StormTEC.